Guys, so this video is going to be a short little practice just to revisit some of the themes and the ideas of earth and water, and specifically developing the necessary foundation for the more advanced practices of yoga. And so one of the things that I want to talk about just briefly before we get into practicing is the importance of the preparation of all of the deepest structures of our body, the oldest structures of our body, the most physical, the most dense structures of our body, and how this preparation, this activity, seen traditionally, was what will help us as we enter into more subtle um, realms of perception, of awareness, and ultimately states of consciousness. Why this is important is because each of the levels or the stages of practice and how they correspond to the chakras and the elements, which is, of course, something that we're talking about in the course, the five elements of Tantrik Hatha yoga, and also in the way that I teach and the way that I share in the trainings that I do in the immersions, and also the way that I practice myself. Um, Understanding this and developing these awarenesses in the what to focus on, what to pay attention to as we practice, and looking at the body and the mind and also the world around us in our lives as um, an interconnected puzzle where there's many interlocking parts that through our body and through our mind and through the development of our body and mind, we then can enter into a more harmonious relationship with not just ourselves, but everything around us. And so the ultimate stage and the ultimate attainment in the path of yoga is the state of abiding in undivided mind. And this is, there's we can think of this as a mystical thing, but it's also a very practical thing. And it's basically being in a state of just complete presence and acceptance for everything that is happening, uh, everything that's happening around us, everything that's happening within us. And in the state of complete acceptance and presence, there's just an illumination. There's a the light that is coming through me, you, everything, all of us, the light of consciousness, then just because can just flow through. And one of the things that's connected to the state of an undivided mind is what they call as sahaja samadhi, which is this. There's a state. Sahaja means spontaneous, and so there's a spontaneity that arises. And I look at children, and children are good examples of something that I think is lost as we enter into adulthood, which is this spontaneity, this creativity, this youthful vitality and joyfulness, just to be in the adventure of life. And I really believe that the path and the practices of yoga can help us regain those qualities and be, as an adult, with the wisdom of adulthood, but the wisdom also of childhood, of being a child. And so just what I wanted to share briefly. Um, and now we'll get into a little bit of a practice, just short, brief practice to re-engage with the principles and the ideas specifically of the earth, water. And so we'll start in child's pose in Balasana. So you can come onto your uh, knees and bring your toes behind you, heels underneath you, knees together, shins on the ground, and just go ahead and come down, resting your hairline on the mat with the backs of your wrists alongside you. And start to take a few deep breaths here. We'll be here for a couple minutes. And see if you can allow each exhale just to sink your weight down into the ground.
Releasing the weight of the back body by letting the pressure on your hairline grow heavy. You let the weight of your head drop without pushing the head down. You just let the weight drop. You'll feel the back body open up, posterior spine. And with your exhales, you'll slowly start to draw your navel towards your spine, compressing the lower abdomen. And with your inhales, you'll keep the lower abdomen drawn towards the spine just a little bit. And this will allow the breath to move into the back body. The tip of the tongue can rest behind the two front teeth towards the roof of the mouth. Just remember that the tongue is the conductor of energy in the body. The tongue, tip of the tongue especially, is the end of what is known as the Saraswati Nadi. And this nadi, this energetic channel, runs from the tongue all the way to the genitals. And so where your tongue is placed will help regulate the fluctuation of your mind by regulating the fluctuation of the breath, by sealing the energetic circuit of the body. A few more deep breaths, sinking the weight into the hairline, into the backs of the wrists. Let the chin move towards the pit of the throat. Keep drawing the navel back as you exhale and keeping the navel back as you inhale. For your final exhale, make sure you complete your exhale. Full total exhale. Hold the breath out for just a moment. Lift at the pelvic floor. And now keep the pelvic floor lifted. Inhale. Lift the torso. Notice the pelvic floor creating stability in the spine. And then let's come onto hands and knees for tabletop. So you're in tabletop, hands and knees, all fours. Spread the fingers wide. Curl the toes under. And we're going to create a really simple vinyasa here, okay? So on the inhale, arch the back, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the head, look up. And on the exhale, round the spine, tuck the tailbone first, hold the lower ribs in, push through the hands, and tuck the chin. Inhale, lift the tailbone, ribs, chest, collarbones, throat, chin, eyes. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, ribs, chest, pushing through the palms. Chin comes into the collarbones. Inhale, tilt the tailbone first, then the belly drops, then the ribs, then the chest, collarbones, throat, chin, eyes. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, tuck in the ribs, push through the hands to draw the heart towards the spine. Chin goes to the chest. We'll do that two more. So you're noticing each of the segments of this movement, and I'm creating a very distinct, segmented approach here. And so we're trying to isolate the different parts of the spine. And this is important because sometimes when we do this, we rush. We might rush the lift of the head before the lower part of the spine has really opened. So we try to keep the chin tucked until that last moment when the collarbones are lifted. and then we lift the chin. And now on this exhale, we're going to move the hips back. Okay, so you're pushing the hips towards the heels. And then you're finishing with the chin tucked. And then from here, inhale, push through the feet. Rise back into the arch back position on all fours. So the vinyasa is just a little bit bigger. The only thing that's different is instead of just rounding, we're rounding and pushing back towards the heels. And so see if you can time this movement with your breath. And now I'm going to add the piece about the earth here. One of the key things that helps us develop the base and the stability at the root is what's known as mula bandha. Mula means root. So as you exhale and you move back, hips to heels, and you're rounding the spine, pause for a moment at the end of the exhale and then lift at the pelvic floor. And then from the pelvic floor, initiate your inhale, initiate the movement forward and up. So we'll do 3 like that, really focusing on this root lock. Mula bandha is known as the root lock or the tie at the base. So you finish your exhale, you'll pause, you'll lift at the pelvic floor and then inhale, keeping the pelvic floor lightly lifted as you lift the spine and arch. Try 2 more. Those of you who are a little more advanced and you're familiar with it, uddiyana, the stomach lock or the tie at the abdomen, can also be employed here. This will accentuate the experience at the pelvic floor. So when you hold the breath out, you lift the pelvic floor and you pull the abdomen in. Then you keep the navel back as you inhale. This will draw the belly taut. It's not a flexing of the abdomen like trying to make yourself have a 6-pack, but it's a drawing in. 1 more. Very good. And now we're going to make the vinyasa a little bit bigger by lifting the hips and moving back to downward facing dog. So same motion of breath, inhale and exhale, 1 breath to 1 movement. And then from dog, lift the heels as you inhale, bend the knees, arch the back, look up. Keep this slow, steady motion. Exhale, round, and then push through the feet. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 more. Keep this steadiness, even rhythm of the breath. Stable, tranquil mind, calm, slow moving breath and movement creates slow, steady mind. Slowing things down, cultivating patience, forgiveness, gentleness. Remaining with the activity of the mula bandha, the root tie, and also the activity of uddiyana bandha, the stomach tie, tying the energy from the root up through the abdomen. 1 more time to tabletop. Use your feet. Don't lose the connection to your feet and your toes. A lot of times people do these activities, especially the smaller, easier appearing vinyasas like this one, and their feet go sloppy. Don't be sloppy. Now hang out in downward dog. Draw the chin towards the chest. Make sure that your elbows and the bones of your arms are strong. You don't want to be hanging on the flesh. And now do this where you draw your tailbone towards your heels, okay? So the coccyx, the tailbone, kind of pushes down towards the heels, and you have this activity in your arms that allows you to push into the palms with the elbows, but the upper arms hug into the sockets. So the elbows push down into the hands, the upper arms hug into their sockets. And you keep that engagement, and this will draw the energy into the bones of the arms. And you find that same engagement when you're with your legs. So the shins push down into the heels, into the ankles, but the thigh bones hug in. And as the thigh bones hug in, coccyx, tailbone moves down. So you have a lot going on here. Downward dog. Keep this engagement of the limbs. Inhale to plank. Slow. You're rolling into plank. You're going to hold the plank. Take 3 to 5 breaths here. Try to push into your big toes so your feet are strong. Tuck the chin. Crown of the head reaches away from your heels. Tailbone reaches down towards your heels. Your breath is slow, deep, steady, calm. Pelvic floor at the end of the exhales. Navel back as you inhale. Inner thighs squeeze towards each other. One more breath. On the exhale, bend your knees. Stay with your feet. Stay with the bones. Move to child's pose. Exhale. Curl the toes under. Take one breath. Try not to go sloppy here. Forehead, hairline resting on the mat. One slow, deep breath. Keep the energy in the body. When I say don't go sloppy, what I mean is don't lose all the aliveness that you're cultivating. This is prana. Inhale to tabletop. We're cultivating and building a container for prana. Curl the toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Good. And so now, on the inhale, step your right leg in between your hands. And you're in this long lunge position. And with this position, just take a few breaths. Your fingertips are next to your foot. Yeah. Your shins are moving away from each other. Your back foot is strong. So you're trying to keep your back leg engaged. And with the back leg engaged, start to move the front knee forward. So the knees move away from each other here. And once you have that position of the legs, it's a strong position of the legs, especially the back leg. Keep the legs, and on your exhales, exhale down into your feet. Find that position where as you exhale, the feet start to take weight. Okay? You're trying to push and create stability through the base. 2 more breaths. At the end of the exhales, hold the breath out, lift the pelvic floor, and then draw in with the inhale with the navel back. Navel back as you inhale allows you to breathe into the bones in the posterior spine. With every exhale, navel back. Breath. The exhale, straighten both legs. So you're straightening, your front knee goes to straight, and your chest and torso come down over that front straight leg. Chin comes into the throat. Again, you're going to hold here for 3 or 4 breaths. Slow the inhales and the exhales, just like you were doing in your slow vinyasa. Exhale into your feet. Draw the lower abdomen in as you exhale. Accentuate the lift at the pelvic floor by holding the breath out for a moment. And then inhale with the navel back. That one more time. Full inhale, full exhale. Pause at the end of the exhale. Just for a moment, not long, long enough to get the pelvic floor to lift. And now with the inhale, ride the wave of the inhale forward. Lunge. Make sure you complete the inhale. Don't cut it short. And then plant the hands, step back, downward dog. Exhale. Take 2 breaths in downward dog. Find the position of the bones of the arms and the bones of the legs. Forearms move towards the wrists. Upper arms hug into the sockets. Shins move towards the ankles. Thigh bones hug into their sockets. Chin is tucked. Tailbone to heels. One more breath. All right, ready, switch legs, okay? Left leg forward, inhale. So, graceful. You're finding the position of your lunge. Once you're in, and this is a key in all of our posture training, once you're in the shape, we want to find what's called kaya sthira. So you may remember that the principle we work with the earth element is sthira, which is stability. So the idea is that you set up the pose, you find your shape, your asana, and then you stop kind of fidgeting around, and then you just deepen the breath. And you start to direct energy through your breath. Especially with this one, you can exhale down into your feet, into your legs. You can feel that stability that's created when you have a solid connection through your feet and your root. And then the flesh starts to soften and open up. And that's the second quality that we work with, which is sukham, starting to look at the element of water. So there's stability and there's ease. There's a balance between the two. See if you can feel that. Slow inhales and exhales. On your next exhale, straighten your front knee. Slow exhale, draw the abdomen in. Bring the forehead towards the shin. Keep the legs strong, the bones of the legs. Keep the feet pushing into the ground, especially the back foot. Big toe of the back foot is strong. Navel back as you inhale. One more breath. Pausing at the end of the exhale. Lift the pelvic floor. Keep the pelvic floor lifted. Push into the feet. Pelvic floor lifts. Inhale. Feet, pelvic floor, come to lunge. Notice the connection between your feet and your pelvic floor. And now exhale, downward facing dog. Good. So we've established the stability. Stay in dog for a moment. We've established the stability, and now we're going to add a little more fluidity and movement and flow. So we'll try to go one breath, one movement, but keep the breath calm, deep, rhythmic, without any sharp edges, okay? No sharp edges, smooth, graceful breath. Sukha. Inhale to plank. And then from plank, exhale, downward dog. Slow, calm, easy, but stable. Right leg to lunge, inhale. Keep inhaling as you come into lunge. Keep your back leg strong. Exhale, straighten your front knee. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. So inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Navel back as you exhale. Pause at the end of the exhale just for a moment. Pelvic floor lifts. Feet are strong. Inhale, lunge. And the downward dog on the exhale. Inhale, plank. Keep the feet, keep the bones of the legs. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg to lunge. Keep your back leg. Don't lose your back leg, back foot. Straighten the legs. Exhale. Forehead towards the shin. Tuck the chin. One more time. Vinyasa. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Navel back. Pelvic floor at the end of the exhale. Inhale, straighten. Bend. Exhale, downward dog. Very good. Inhale, plank. Calm, rhythmic, smooth. Keep the stability in your bones. Exhale, downward dog. Right side, inhale, lunge. Exhale, straighten. Front knee. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Keep the bones. Keep the feet. Exhale, downward dog. Draw in with your navel as you move back. Find your pelvic floor. Left leg, inhale, lunge. Left leg forward. Exhale, straighten. Calm, smooth, rhythmic breath. Inhale, lunge. Keep your back foot. Strong back foot. Exhale, downward dog. Very good. One more time, both sides. Inhale, right leg, lunge. Exhale, straighten the front knee. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, plank. Keep your feet like you're squeezing a small block. Exhale, downward dog. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Draw the navel in. Inhale, left leg forward, lunge. Exhale, straighten the front knee. Draw your inner thighs in towards each other like scissors. Keep your feet strong. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, downward dog. Very good. Take 3 breaths in downward dog. Again, don't go sloppy. Full inhales, full exhales. Keep building the principles of the base. Find the kaya sthira, the stability of the body. Good. So here, if you're on your own, you could add some warrior postures. We're not going to do that today. What we're going to do is we're going to inhale and come to plank. So inhale to plank. And on the exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. And from here, we're going to develop our back bends. So you're on your belly. First step is makrasana. You can interlace your fingers or stack your hands. Bring the elbows wide. Bring your forehead on top of your hands. And then with your legs behind you, lengthen each leg, but turn the toes out. Let the heels fall in. So the big toes, the inside edge of the big toe is on the ground. And the inside edge of the heel is falling towards the mat. Inhale and exhale here. This is known as makrasana, the crocodile. And I want for you to feel with every exhale that your exhale is taking your body closer and deeper to the ground. And you'll start to notice a certain stability, like an inner firmness, an inner strength. It's not a gripping, but it's rather, it's the release of a grip, an unnecessary grip by the muscles on the bones. And as the muscles release any unnecessary grip on the bones, the right activation of the joints and the bones becomes apparent. And it will feel as if all of a sudden the bones are taking the weight. There's going to be a certain amount of gripping, but not an unnecessary tension. If you do it right, and I'm going to walk you through a couple small alignments that might help you feel this. If you do it right, you'll start to feel the firmness at the base and the bones of the legs. So where your big toes are pressing the inner edges of the big toes, make sure that they're strong and sharp. So it's like you're kind of pushing a little bit with the inner edge of the big toe. And now as you exhale, pull the belly in slightly and push the pubic bone towards the mat. Pubic bone towards the mat, big toes strong. Try to keep that engagement as you inhale. And now as you keep the engagement at the base, try to relax and loosen any unnecessary tension in the shoulders and the upper body. And as you loosen and relax tension from the upper body, it will feel like it's melting downward. And then the base, especially the legs, will get stronger and more firm. Keep the firmness at the base with the legs, and then bring your chin onto your middle finger knuckle. Let the weight from the top of the head rest down into your chin. Press the tip of the tongue behind the 2 front teeth. Keep the big toes sharp. Keep the bones of the leg strong. Keep building from the inside. Don't go sloppy. Anything that you've discovered internally as you've built your postures this far, keep building them. Keep layering them. Keep containing and circulating prana without letting it disperse. The disbursement of prana is the moment that the mind will step in, and then all of a sudden we're in the la la land of the fantasy of our thoughts, and we're entertaining thoughts that are actually not here. Come back to the body, come back to the energy. Practicing being strong and rooted and stable, the somatic experience in the body. Keep the rootness of the legs and the bones, and now lift the torso. Keep the legs strong, big toes strong. Lift the torso, bring the palms to prayer. Elbows are going to come forward, and the tips of the fingers in prayer are going to kind of press on the sternum. So the hand is angled back, tips of the fingers angled back. Draw the chin towards the throat so the back of the neck is long. And over the next 3 or 4 breaths, do that same thing that we've been developing this whole time, where on the end of the exhale, you draw the belly in, you hold the breath out, you lift the pelvic floor, and with the pelvic floor lifted, notice what happens at the feet. Keep the engagement and the grip at the feet as you inhale. Notice what happens in the bones of the legs as you do that. You're building a grip at the base, a foundation at the base. This will affect the mind, and it will affect everything beyond the mat. Just being connected to our feet, our base. Okay. Keep the base, keep the feet, release the hands, take them next to your ribs, palms face down, elbows hug in. Bring the tops of the feet down. We're preparing for Bhujangasana, but we're not losing the setup that we created. Press down with the toenails. You'll feel the thighs kind of light up. The shins will be a little bit off the mat, kneecaps draw up, hug the elbows in, tuck the chin. From the tip of the elbow through the forearm, with the legs strong, bones of the legs strong, stay for a breath, inhale, exhale. Firm everything up. Be stable through your legs. Start to push through the tip of the elbow to lift the torso into a straight arm cobra. Some of you may choose to stay bent with the elbows. Otherwise, you can come all the way up and the head can come back. And you're in a really extended position of the spine. Don't jam your lower back. This is why the setup is so important. Keep the bones of the legs. Inhale and exhale. Do the same thing that we've been doing. End of the exhale, pelvic floor, navel back as you inhale. Tip of the tongue behind the 2 front teeth. On your exhale, slowly move back, child's pose. Well done. Knees together, heels underneath you. Tops of the wrists come alongside the ankles, hairline on the mat. Inhale and exhale. Let the weight sink down. Don't go sloppy. Navel back as you exhale. Pelvic floor lifts. You're building energy. You're building a container for energy, the liquid gold of life. Stay for 3 more breaths. Go sloppy. Keep the breath deep. The connection to the body, bones. Feel the water settle. Water settles on top of a strong foundation. These are your emotions and your thoughts. End of the exhale, lift the pelvic floor. Keep the pelvic floor lifted. Inhale, come up, navel back as you inhale. And then shift the hips to the side. We're going to come into a seated position. Do one round of uddiyana. I'm going to take my shirt off just to demonstrate here. One round of uddiyana with the seated posture that we use is called siddhasana. The heel is in the perineum. If you need to have something to place under your sit bones to make that possible, that's okay. If your heel doesn't come in the perineum, you can use like a sock tied up or even a tennis ball to create pressure at the perineum. But if you can, heel underneath, right leg in front. Some of you may also be able to sit in Padmasana. And so if you can, that's okay too. Take the hands, elbows are going to be straight. So not loose with the elbows, but elbows straight. Palms are going to cover the knees. And then from this position, go ahead and see if you can lengthen the sides of the waist. And to do that, to spread the toes and activate the feet. So don't go sloppy in the legs when you sit. If you have a strong base of support here, you'll feel the base strong, and then the crown of the head can float on top of the tailbone. So this is your sitting position. It's not a sloppy position. It's a very strong and stable position to prepare us for bhakstrika pranayama. Bhakstrika is the bellows breath. Inhale and exhale are both strong and forceful. We'll do 30 breaths followed by a holding of the air out after this. Okay? So 30 breaths, bhakstrika. Ready? Begin. Tip of the tongue is behind the two front teeth. Chin is tucked slightly. Last one. Stay empty. Now press the tip of the tongue out. And as you press the tongue out, draw the navel in. Keep the navel back. Bring the tongue in. Keep the navel back. Lift the chin. Navel is back. Keep the grip up the abdomen. Inhale with the navel back through the nose. Come to the top of the inhale. Hold the breath. Tuck the chin. And release. Close the eyes. Inhale and exhale. Nice, slow in and out. Pay attention to where the tongue is placed in the mouth. Pay attention to the alignment of the spine. Pay attention to the stability in the body and the stability, therefore, of the mind and the stability, therefore, of the breath.
You remain just like this for the remainder of the time that you'd like to meditate. If you have additional practices you'd like to do, like more kriyas, pranayamas, you can do so now. Our practice is complete. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.